This is one of those cases where a single decision spirals into a full-blown legal disaster. We're looking at a domestic violence case, already one of the most serious and emotionally charged categories in the legal system. But what makes this situation even more intense is what happens after the initial charge. Meet Charlton Cartwright, a man who had already been given a second chance by the court. Instead of going to trial, he entered a no-contest plea, which means he didn't admit guilt but accepted conviction. That alone puts him under strict court supervision. And one of the most critical conditions in cases like this: no weapons, period. Now here's where things take a sharp turn. Despite that clear condition, Cartwright allegedly shows up at an airport with a firearm. Not just anywhere, but through an employee checkpoint. That's not just a small mistake, that's a massive red flag in the eyes of the law. So the big question becomes, was this truly an innocent mistake, or a reckless violation of a court order? And more importantly, how will the judge respond when trust is broken like this? Stay with us, because what unfolds next is a powerful reminder of how seriously the justice system treats violations like these.
Okay, Mr. Cartwright, is this you? Okay, case number 25S01288SM. People State of Michigan versus Charlton Cartwright.
Good morning. On behalf of Mr. Cartwright, who was mine.
All right, Mr. Cartwright, tell us your name. All right, good morning. So,
right off the bat, the judge is establishing identity and reviewing the procedural history. This might seem routine, but it's actually critical. Courts rely heavily on timelines, and here, the timeline already shows a pattern. A plea in February, a scheduled evaluation, and then suddenly, a new incident in March. That gap, that's where everything changed. When someone is out on bond, they're essentially being trusted to follow strict rules while awaiting further proceedings. The moment a new arrest or violation enters the picture, that trust starts to collapse. So think about this: should one mistake be enough to lose that trust completely?
okay, Mr. Cartwright, February 18th, you pled, let's see, no contest here to this charge of domestic violence. And looks like we had needed a PSI, was for March the 30th, but then on March the 14th, I guess something happened somewhere in the middle, because you got arraigned. I don't know what happened on March the 14th for a bond violation. Let's see. Bond was denied given the allegations. That's the new Southfield Police incident number. So that's what we're dealing with today. I don't have the Southfield Police report. Well, yes, I do hear that. All right, let's see. Attempted to bring a firearm through the security into work. Contacted by Wayne County Airport Police, who notified Southfield that this was a bond violence. Well, let's see. I'm pretty sure we normally have a possess no weapons, and that is on the bond form that was signed by the defendant on December 27th of 2025. So the allegation here, sir, is that on March the 13th, you were arrested at Wayne County Metropolitan Airport. Their authorities apparently allegedly saw you bringing in a firearm, or caught you bringing in a firearm.
This is where the situation becomes legally dangerous. The judge is laying out multiple options, from doing nothing to completely revoking freedom, A bond violation is not minor, it signals to the court that the defendant may not respect legal authority. And when a firearm is involved in a domestic violence case, that risk level jumps immediately. Now the power is entirely in the judge's hands. So ask yourself, does this sound like someone who deserves another chance?
Through the employee checkpoint, and you got a citation for that, which was a alleged violation of the bond here. How would you like to proceed on this? Oh, let me tell you this. Of course, with a bar violation, I could do numerous things. I could revoke your bond, which right now there is no bond, so I could continue that. And I could continue whatever conditions there are. I could change that and give you some kind of monetary bond, keep the conditions the same, or I could add or change the conditions, keep the monetary part the same, or I could lower the monetary part and also change the conditions, or I could just, basically do nothing to it, keep it how it is, basically. So there's many things I could do as a result of this alleged violation. So, having said that, do you know how he'd like to proceed?
Yeah, sure. We do know how we would like.
How would he like it?
Your Honor, we would like for you to reinstate Mr. Cartwright's bond.
Oh,
We would
okay.
like to provide.
Is he pleading guilty then? Is that what he
Your
doing?
Honor, yes, Your Honor.
To the violation?
Yes, be a violation. We don't
Okay.
mistake him. Your Honor.
Okay. Well, we'll let you allocute on his behalf once he does that. So, sir, is that right? You want to waive your right to have a violation hearing and plead guilty to the bond violation of possessing a firearm? Anybody force you, threaten you? Been promised anything at all? And you understand the possible penalties involved with this violation? And you still wish to plead guilty? So you did have a firearm in your possession on March 13, 2026 at the Detroit Metro Airport in violation of the court's no firearm order.
This is a critical turning point. The defendant pleads guilty to the violation, meaning there's no argument about whether it happened. But here's the catch: pleading guilty doesn't guarantee mercy. Instead, it shifts focus to the explanation. And coming up next, that explanation might actually make things worse instead of better. Was it really just a mistake, or something deeper?
Then that's sufficient for me, and I'll accept this plea. And I find that it is freely, instantly, voluntarily, and knowingly made. Where was he going with a firearm?
Your Honor.
Well, Your Honor, I told him not to have one. But he not only has one, he has nerve to take it into the airport? Like that would be a problem?
Yes, Your Honor. So we do have an explanation.
Okay, well, what is it?
So gracious. As a situation happened, Your Honor. Since the last time we were here, Mr. Cartwright actually got a job. Well, we recalled it, but he didn't have one at the time. He did get a job at the airport. And on the day in question, Your Honor, he's calling to work early. He was running late. He grabbed the wrong bag. He thought it was his work bag, rushing out of the house. Went to work because he knows he's not supposed to take a firearm to the airport, Your Honor, where he works. And unfortunately, once he got there, went through the employee exit, going through the security, and that's when it was discovered, Your Honor. It was very careless, very negligent on his part.
So the bag that he takes to work looks exactly like this other bag, and he just grabbed it. He don't have any way to distinguish what his work bag looked like.
It is the wrong bag defense. On the surface, it sounds relatable. Everyone is rushed out of the house and grabbed the wrong thing. But legally, this argument is weak, because he wasn't supposed to have a firearm at all. That's the real issue. Blaming the situation, or even family members, doesn't remove responsibility. In court, accountability always comes back to the defendant. So what do you think? Honest mistake or careless behavior?
Your Honor, in his defense, he's been moving back into his parents' home, and his parents are in here, his mom, dad, and sister. And so it was a little bit of carelessness.
Okay, well, let's just give him that. Why has he got a firearm in the bag anyway? At home, that he was such that he took the wrong bag. You're not supposed to have it. Matter of fact, now one of the things he's gonna do is, if he ever gets out, he's gonna turn his firearm into the police department. They kept it. Okay, good.
Can I just add one more to the scenario, just for the trigger report? When the firearm was initially given back to Mr. Cartwright, it was not given to him on the day in question, which brought us here initially. They gave it to his father, and his father was supposed to put it up. Unfortunately, I know it's a lot.
The father was supposed to put it up.
Yeah,
Well, how did it get back to him?
because it didn't get locked up in his.
Okay, no, that's he can't follow directions, and he's relying on his family to do it, and they not doing it.
Relying on his family, Your Honor. I can't speak to all the other things, but Your Honor, it was honest. He did have a CPL, and thank God they only gave him an infraction for it.
Sir, this is a domestic violence case. No, if you understand how serious a domestic violence allegation is, whether it's a push, which people don't seem to think is a big deal, to a severe beatdown, it's serious. And people get killed in these domestic situations all the time. I hear the survivors' family stories, even when they've gone and been gone for a while, working with domestic violence shelters such as Haven. And he had somebody stalked out well after shouldn't have been an issue and killed. So I don't know if you understand how serious not having a firearm is in this type of a charge.
Now you can hear the shift in the judge's tone. This is no longer about explanations, it's about accountability. The judge highlights something crucial: domestic violence cases are taken extremely seriously because they can escalate quickly. Add a firearm into that equation, and the perceived danger increases dramatically. At this point, the judge isn't convinced, and once that trust is gone, it's incredibly hard to recover from it.
Serious. There is no room for, oh, I picked up the wrong bag, because you shouldn't have had it in the wrong bag. If somebody gave you this firearm bag, you knew you weren't supposed to have it. The police should have kept it locked. You should have turned it into the police, and they should have kept it locked up till this case was over. That's what should have happened. I don't know how your dad got involved in it, but it's not his responsibility because he's not you. But somehow he didn't help you. He dropped the ball on it too. He wasn't supposed to be nowhere near you. And how did? And I know if they gave it to you, they didn't put it in the bag that you would have thought was your work bag. You had to do that. And then grab, quote, the wrong bag. I mean, you got to make it make sense. And that's the only way it makes any sense. So you knew you had it. And that's a violation of the order. That makes you dangerous. Even though you don't think you're dangerous, you're dangerous. And then you got to let that sink in. People wish to be heard on this.
I'll just echo what you've already said. This is a really serious violation of the bond terms, just the possession of the weapon alone, let alone taking it into an airport.
I believe it was a mistake that he took her to the airport. I can believe that, especially if he just got a job there and he knows better. But he shouldn't have had it in the first place. That's what I don't get. It's like people that get, all of these charges and they're drunk driving and under the influence of whatever. And then they've got liquor charges on top of that. And then you find out they don't have a license in the first place. They should have never been in the car. Could have been resisting the police too. None of the charges would have even been there had they just not driven. which they knew they weren't supposed to. It's sort of like that.
Prosecution reinforces everything the judge is already thinking, and that's a powerful moment in court. The comparison to DUI cases is key. These are preventable situations. The argument is simple: this entire situation could have been avoided if the defendant had followed the rules. Now the outcome feels almost certain. The only question left is how severe the consequences will be.
Your Honor, I'd ask that the court fashion a sentence that matches the severity of the bond violation that's been requested.
Right now, he has no bond.
If I may,
Hmm.
we will ask Sharon that you do reinstate this bond.
I'm not reinstating nobody. This is stupid to me that somebody would do this and purposely violate my order, not by taking it to the airport, but just by still having it. So no, I'm not reinstating anything. That's like a no penalty.
Well, no, Your Honor, we do believe that you could modify the bond conditions and
I could give him a bond. She gave him no bond.
come on, bond, Your Honor, and provide a monetary amount.
He got a $2,000 personal bond. You think he getting that? And he's not getting that.
$2,000 with 10%.
Mm-mm.
We're only 2 weeks on the reporting case will actually be dismissed and you'll be sentenced, Your Honor.
Oh, well, then maybe you should stay there then. So he can think about it. Because I don't know if the case is going to get dismissed or not.
I didn't say dismissed, I said dispensed.
Dispensed.
Sentence coming up. And he has did everything he's supposed to do up to this point. We don't take the situation like that.
$25,000 cash or surety bond.
10% of that, yeah.
Nope. He got to go get a bondsman. Okay, that's it.
Thank you, Your Honor.
This case is a clear example of how quickly things can escalate when court orders are ignored. What started as a domestic violence charge turned into something much bigger, not because of new violence, but because of a violation of trust. The judge made it clear in cases like this, there is zero tolerance for mistakes involving weapons. The explanation simply didn't hold up under scrutiny, and the consequences reflect that. This isn't just about one decision, it's about a pattern of responsibility, risk, and accountability. If you found this case as shocking as we did, hit that like button. Drop your opinion in the comments. Was the judge too strict or completely right? And don't forget to subscribe for more powerful courtroom breakdowns.